you're going to the theme parks and you're planning on bringing a backpack or carrying a lot of bags, make sure you do these exercises in order to alleviate any shoulder pain that you may get. Dr. Nicholas Mercer, the theme park therapist with You Improve PT. So you're going to the parks, you're ready, you've got everything packed in your backpack. You put your backpack on. It's a little heavy, and that's normal. But remember, you're going to be walking around the parks all day, hours and hours and hours, upwards of probably over 12 hours. And that is going to weigh on you. It's going to make your shoulders pull forward. It's going to make them overwork. It's going to make them sore. And sore neck and shoulder muscles are not really a good thing when we're trying to have an enjoyable, active day at the parks. And I've kind of gone over some bag carrying techniques in a few other videos, which I'll link to a card here now. But what are some things that we can do in order to offset this just from a exercise perspective, from an activation perspective, something you can do when we're not wearing the bag, when we're waiting in line, and we have a moment to work on ourselves and work on our shoulders. So that backpack's gonna be pulling you forward, right? And so you're going to feel those shoulders coming forward. You have that backwards pressure on you, so all of these muscles are gonna work forward. And the muscles in the back of your shoulder actually are having to control the shoulder in a lengthened position, and this can cause some spasms and soreness in these muscles, even in the muscles of the upper traps here. So kind of one simple thing that we want to work on is scapular retraction, which is basically, if you imagine pinching your shoulder blades together behind you, that is the movement that we want to perform and get more comfortable with and get stronger so that we're offsetting this constant forward pull on our shoulders. The kind of series of exercises I have for you today are fairly simple. The first one, if you have a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball or some soft tissue mobilization tool that you prefer with you in the parks, which I definitely suggest planning on bringing. I'm going to show you with the lacrosse ball. You just find a wall and you put that lacrosse ball up against the wall, lean up against it with your back where those kind of scapular retractors, the rhomboids and the middle traps are, and we'll just kind of go up and down, find some sore spots, alleviate those sore spots, find another one, spend about 30 seconds to a minute on each spot and wait for that spot to kind of ease up. You may feel a little twitching, that's normal. These spots are probably going to be a little tender, so let that tenderness ease up and then move on to another spot. Once you've cleared that up, we will kind of start with a basic scapular retraction exercise, and all you're really going to do here is pull those shoulder blades together and almost like you're pinching a pencil or a pen behind your shoulders and making sure it doesn't fall. Okay? You should feel those muscles that you worked on, those tender muscles, you should feel those contract, squeezing your shoulder blades together. So this is a very interesting thing, and kind of why we use soft tissue mobilization first is not only to restore blood flow and break some of that spasm, but it's also to get a feel of what muscles we should be working. The muscles that we should be working are the ones that were tender. So staying mindful of that tenderness, remembering where that was, and consciously trying to squeeze those muscles together is going to really help you not only activate the correct muscles, but offset that pulling forward that we have to do in order to hold that backpack in a steady position throughout the day at the parks. And that's not even to mention managing children, turning different movements of the shoulder that we get that can kind of throw off the quality of the tissues in the back of your shoulder. So those are just a couple very simple exercises that you can do to offset any of the shoulder pain that you get from carrying heavy bags or even bags of merchandise that you buy throughout the day, carrying a backpack, putting water bottles in there, and managing your basically your party of potentially a bunch of children. So do those at your day at the theme parks to help alleviate that shoulder pain and improve your overall experience, because pain is not magical.